Hello, fellow adventurers. Today, we're going to traverse the burrows. The worker village that was set up to house all the original workers in Jurassic Park. I don't know if the workers are here anymore. Doubt it. But hopefully there's some sort of power going there. They've got power lines. That's a good sign. Wow. Established since 1983. And this game was released in 1998, I figured out. Finally. After how many episodes? I actually looked that up. So it was 1998 that the game was released. And the reason being was there was pressure from multiple sides, from Spielberg, from DreamWorks, and I think also from Universal Studios, to have the game released at that time to coincide with the release of The Lost World. And because of that, it totally threw this game off kilter and made pressing buttons all the more difficult. Come on, Anne, I just want you to not press 4 buttons at once. Alright, this looks near impossible. Alright, crappy mechanics. Yay for the 1998 release. That was well worth it, wasn't it? Yeah, great stuff. So let's not use that method of getting into this town. There is another way. When there's a will, there's a way. And if button pushes won't go your way, you can do something about it. There's a drainage pipe over here that if we crouch under, we should be able to go through. Or crouch through, not crouch under. If you crouch underneath the pipe, you're not really going to go past the wall. You'll just go smack face into it. So go crouch into it. That would be much better an idea. Alright. Through the pipe we go to the whimsical town. That's completely overgrown. I wonder how long this has been. You know, that's something they never really reveal in this game. Is what is the time frame? How long ago did the whole incident on Site B occur? How long ago did it take for everybody to be evacuated? Was this a recent occurrence? Or, you know, from the looks of everything being so overgrown and dilapidated as it is, I would say this is like decades later. Or maybe 5 years later. Who knows? I'm not sure. But it really didn't take that much time at all for everything to grow out of control and completely become derelict and broken down. And I do believe that this is the most sad point of the game.
The funny thing was how easy it was. Nobody stops you. Just get on the bus and watch the highway start moving. The whole world before you. I guess it's not a vacation if you don't know when you're coming back.
Yeah, and I guess you can't really call it a game if you hurried its release and really didn't program it to do what it was expected to do. And that's what makes this area the most depressing out of all the places to explore in Trespasser. Shotgun for the win! Hell yeah, I'll have that. You know, it's funny, at the time when I originally played this game, I didn't play very many first-person shooters, but you can tell by my picking up of what guns are which. I've played a lot more because originally I said, I don't know what the guns are called, I don't know what I'm going to call them, deal with it. But now, I have a pretty good knowledge. That's probably a spaz right there that I dropped because I'm a spaz like that, and it's better to readjust more than readjust with that awful rotation mechanic, rotating your wrists to try and get a better aim. Just reassemble, reassess, and re-pick up the gun. But this was the place where so many events were supposed to go down. I read a whole lot of development details. There is a wonderful website to get more involved in the world of Trespasser if you're curious how such a great concept went so south and why it did so. There's a great website called Trescom, and that is the perfect place for anybody who's looking to mod their game or looking for, you know, background information on what happened. And one of the big things was the logs of what was supposed to go down in the town. You know, they'd write everything out. They'd write, okay, we're going to have a sequence of events where raptors attack you, and, you know, they're going to strike here, and if you run into the houses, you got to stop them from going into the house with you, and all kinds of crazy crap like that. But the problem mainly with these raptors, with all dinosaurs, is they cannot enter buildings. Probably the most gleaming of the glitches in this game.
Radio, phone? Can with a string?
Nope, none of that. Not yet, anyway. We've just started to explore the town. Oh boy! Whew. That was close. And that was like a side shot. I didn't know if I would actually aim and get that correctly. Oh, and he's got a friend.
3 left.
Fun, fun, fun. Hey, you want to eat lead too? Come here. I was just telling the viewers how pathetic you really are. Let's see if you can do some damage outside buildings. Nope, not even a little. Sorry, your glitchy mechanics will not let you survive. Very sad. Very sad. Super sad. And it really sucks too, because this is where you see how the game could have been so extraordinary, could have been so amazing and such a thriller of a survival game to go through. Imagine being in this town infested with raptors, which was what these raptors lazily standing around were supposed to represent. And although they didn't do the greatest of jobs at eradicating us, you know, even if they were getting vicious and they found us and they were going to go after us, if I ran in this building here, they were supposed to follow me. They were supposed to attack me. I was supposed to dupe them out through these rooms. All kinds of cool crap was going to go down in this town. And none of that happens here. The only thing that you have to deal with in this town, in this build of the game, is opening the gate to keep going through this game. That's all there is. It's just continuing on, continuing on, continuing on, trying to find some way to civilization. So yeah, if you guessed it already, this town really doesn't have a phone line. Doesn't have electricity. It doesn't have anything of use to contact any human civilization. So we're kind of sunk. Unless we continue on. I mean, once we get rid of all the raptors, I suppose we're safe. I don't know if there's any supplies around here, so we could live in this village all our own. That would kind of be a cool alternate story for Anne to live out. Anne decides as she's coming out of her drunken stupor that, you know what, maybe this was a fortunate accident. Maybe now she gets to see what it's like to live on her very own private island. Maybe this was all for the greater good. Just like that mouth shot was. Booyah! So this town is in no shortage of ammo. That's one of the supplies it is fully packed with. So no worries, blast every raptor you see. Heck, I think there's enough ammo in this town to shoot every single raptor with a shotgun shell. I'm not entirely certain if that's true, but let's see. Let us see. And I know there's a good gun in here that we left behind, so we might as well grab it. Nab it, grab it, and get ready to confront more raptors, because I don't think they're all dead yet. At least I hope not. No, I think there's still more to go. There's still that giant sequence that was supposed to go down at the restaurant that isn't going to go down, I already know.
Where is the goddamn phone? I want out of here. I want diet soda. I want copy machines and juice boxes and cartoons.
Another important factor is those pressures put on you by the big companies, DreamWorks, Universal, Spielberg. I mean, these all three ginormous figures that were standing in the developer's way saying, no, this game has to come out now. Can we make this jump? I sure hope so. Go! Oh, look at that ledge hop. I jumped right off the corner of that. That was so close. So, you know, consider that. Consider that when looking down this game, that, you know, these were not just developers programming with a passion. These were people that had to eat and make a living. Anybody in here? Nope. These were people who had to put food on the table on a regular basis, and if they didn't put this game out in 1998, even as unfinished as it is, they would have been fired. And so you know, what ended up happening with that video game team was a lot of them went to go work on games such as Resistance. Resistance Fall of Man on the PlayStation. And that was a phenomenal game. So you can see these programmers are good programmers, and if given the time and not having such pressure put upon them by all these companies, they probably would have made a much better product. And that's the great thing about indie that you see is, you know, it's just a bunch of people getting together, programming a game for the sake of programming a game because all of them feel they have a story to tell and they want to do it through the medium of video games, and they get to it. And they only set their own precedent of what they want as their standards for production. You know, they don't have to worry about, this has to be out by this year so it coincides with a movie. No, it's just a game. It's a game of which you want to perfect and work on. Wow, this is a really bad bathroom. There's not even one toilet in there. How about the men's bathroom? Any toilet for the men? Nope. Nothing. Wow. They had to rush the game so much they couldn't even be bothered with putting in toilets into the bathrooms. That really indicates something. But this whole bar sequence here, this bar building, was supposed to be a hair-raising tension builder as we went opening every single door. Some of the doors, as you saw, had weapons in them, like those two. But the other doors were supposed to have raptors in them. That's right, they were supposed to burst out when you open the door. And man, what a surprise that would have been. So then we would have had to fight the raptor throughout the bar. It would have been a bar fight with dinosaurs. Oh, and there's a extra gun in case you don't already have over amounts of ammo as we already do. And you see that by how many guns they leave lying around, and this is another huge point of weapons cache. This is pretty much a weapons stock room full of guns. You can tell that the developers were intending for this to be a gigantic dino ambush. There were supposed to be way more than just 3 or 4 raptors on the street, randomly dotted around the world. They were supposed to be in places like this. You'd have to fight a raptor to get that gun, things of that nature. It was so cool. The concepts of it were so amazing, and it really resonated better as a story. You know, it was almost a cool segment of a spurring off of the original Jurassic Park, a kind of what-if story if somebody else, and we cannot open the story. Nope, can't open that. Alright. You know, it was like a what-if, a great what-if. Look, another gun. Ridiculous. So many weapons, and, you know, not enough things to shoot at. That's the case here.
8 shots.
But it's an alternate retelling of the Jurassic Park tale. What happens when someone else, not affiliated with the dinosaurs whatsoever, some traveler, some tourist, who didn't even intend to come here, crash lands? Then what happens? Really, really awesome idea. Poor execution. In here, yep, guess what? Raptors were supposed to come up from down there. Or down from up there, rather. I don't know if they were necessarily supposed to jump down from the rafters of there, but I do know that there was supposed to be raptors in that water tower. And here too, the restaurant sequence. Yep, there's a ginormous raptor battle that's supposed to go on here as soon as you enter. I don't know if the raptor would have been hiding in there. Most likely, by the way that door fell, giving ample space for the raptor to run through. But nope, because the fact that the dinosaurs can't be programmed to go through buildings didn't happen.
Water seeped into everything.
And as time ran out and the water seeped through, this game suffered. It suffered substantially. Now, what ends up happening, since the event is still somewhat programmed, they removed a lot of the other events, as you noticed, because when we walked throughout the bar, there was no additional raptors spawned like there is here at the restaurant. They ended up having to take that out because too many raptors on the map was glitching the game. But this restaurant activity is still programmed, and you still sort of trip it when you go through the restaurant. Those dinosaurs weren't there before, and now they are, just because we went through the restaurant. So it's up to you. Do you want to fight more dinosaurs? I say give it a go. You know, you've got all these wonderful guns lying around here, and barely anything to shoot at. There's no T-Rex, there's no Albertosaurus, there's no Spinosaurus. That isn't even in this game, or wasn't even an idea back then. That was way before Jurassic Park 3 was ever in programming. Like I said, this was supposed to be slated to come out during the Lost World's release, but that didn't really happen. Well, it did happen. It did get released, but it didn't happen successfully to where we're excited that it was released to meet the movie time. And I think that's a lot of the cases where movie games suffer. Aside from, you know, going off of a story that wasn't that original, it was just based off a story that might have been based off a book but it was now adapted to a film, movie games are rushed.
Left to itself, the facility reverts to minimal power, chiefly battery-powered security systems. It can sustain itself almost indefinitely.